Hello everyone. So this is a video about Aimsun and I will do a signalized intersection from scratch and I will show you how to set the signals up, how to set the intersection up and how to run it. So let's just create a new one. I'm just going to create a new file. I just changed the rule of road so you change it according to your country, which side you drive. And just hit OK to keep things simple. So here is an empty model. I just select a section that is a link, just in Aimsun is called section. Um, with the left click you create one, you double click you finish it. If you want to change the number of lanes, you just hold on Control and click or push 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on your keyboard. So I just do this. You can also have these intermediate points. If you want to add more, you just click on this one and you just need to make sure that you select the section. Then there you are. If you want to create like a curve, you select this one and you can just do these things. So I just select them and hit delete to delete them. Just want things to be simple here. You see these little points. If you drag them out or drag them in, you can create short lanes. You can create it on at the end, or you can create on the start as well. If you pull them all the way to the end, it creates a two-lane link. You can also do this back and forth. So what I'm going to do, I just create 4 approaches. You can also generate opposite direction and you can just delete these like that. You can also just Control C, Control V it, or you can duplicate it. I just clicked duplicate and I just move these around a bit. We can tidy it up later, but as a start it's fine. Just Control C, Control V. So just like that. And last is the east approach. So as you can see, it is very easy and quick to set basic things up, probably easier than in Vizim. So now I can just move them more or less where I want them to be. I don't use any background. If you want to use a background, I have another video, just check that one out to see how to do it. And it's very easy to just select all of these. Just make sure that you don't select from left to the right. You select like this. When you see the little text extensive select there appearing, yeah, like that. Because this way what this selection window crosses, then it will be selected. And basically here you can just click this one to create a node and your intersection is ready. And what I'm going to do here, so I just slightly, so I just double click here on the node. And as you can see, it already sets up everything, but I want it to be a bit differently. So when you select a turn, these are called turns. You can see that from the 2 red, it goes into that lane. And so I just click that. Now I click on another one, that's fine. I just do the same thing in every single approach. So I want the right lane to be a right only. So just like that. Okay. In terms of giveaway, so what I try to do in this way, so I will set the signals up that the 2 horizontal one will go together and the right turns will go on its own. So I will have a stage where these 2 will go together, these 2, then these guys will go, then this movement, the southbound and the northbound will go separately. So I don't need to set up giveaways, but if you need to set giveaways up, you need to tick them here. So I just OK it. Since it is a signalized intersection, I'm I think ticking yellow box on is useful. So this way vehicles will keep it clear. Now, double click it again. There is a tab called signal groups. So here you can add it. So I'm going to add signal groups. So I just create, for example, and here you have the turns. It lists out all the turns you have. And so I just quickly create these. If you want, you can just keep these while I create it. So this is the west right turn, and here you tick it. The next one is the west left turn, so I just create that, then I select it. But also you can tick multiple ones or in any order, so you don't need to follow the order the turns are listed here. I just find it easier to set them up like that. So I just select the left turn. Next one is the through. I just forgot to tick it on. So this one, let me just unselect. So this one is the east left turn. Next one is the east through, and then the next one, I always forget selecting it. Next one is the east right turn, like that. Next one will be the south left turn. So there is some onerous task or onerous steps to do, but I mean it's relatively quick. Next one is the through movement from the south, and I tick it. Then the next one is the south right turn. I just select that. Next one is the north. So what I have here, that is the red, because I still keep it highlighted. If I deselect it, then it would go away. So the north to south, let me just create that. So this is the north through. And just make sure you don't hit enter, because then you need to reopen it. So this one I just select that. Then the next one is the right turn. Right turn, and the last one is the north left turn. So I just assign these turns to signal groups. Now we have all the signal groups set up. So what we need to do is, on the right side you have a project window or area where you have all your elements. Basically you have the demand, data analysis, infrastructure, pedestrians and scripts, and also you can have a lot more here later, but by creating a new model you only have these as a start. So what you have is, we need to have control. So when we go to new, you need to create a control plan, because when you select your node and right click, edit control plan, and this is the control plan you have just created, so now you can edit it. In the type you need to select fixed, and as you can see there is nothing here, but if you click add phase, that will always fill out all the space, so you just drag it lower. And as discussed before, I want these two to be my starting stage. So what I do, that is the west right turn and east right turn. So west right turn, I just select it, and east right turn. My theme is black, so it's a bit confusing, but there are these axes. So when you create this first stage you can see basically right turn and right turn. Now we need to add the phase, that is the inter green, and you create interface. Then adding a new one, a new phase, and here I want the west and east through and left. So east and west through and left. So that one. Now we need an inter green. Around 6 seconds is fine. I think in this case I just tick interface, and as you can see the color changes, indicating that it is basically inter green. Now I want the south movement to go on its own. Just select it. Now I need another interface 6 and another phase, and now the north movement goes. And then I have another 6 seconds. So the cycle time here is set up. So the cycle time is set up here. You can either fill out the 90 or you can reduce it. So I'm just going to fill out the 90. So I move that there and just extend it. So for this example, it doesn't matter how the times are, because we can change it according to the traffic. So I just click OK. But as you realize, there is no traffic demand yet. So what we need to do is we need to add a traffic demand to our model. The way to do it is we need to use centroids. So on the left, you can see there is a centroid. So I'm going to create one first here, then here. So basically, this represents a loading point, like a matrix. We will keep the traffic data or demand in a matrix form. And by these, you can create like zones, as they call in Vism. Here they call centroids. When you double click on one, you can create, this is gonna be the number one, and this is west. And I create new, then click there, create new, click there. And you see what happens. So generates to this section, attracts from this section. This is basically zone number one or centroid number one, and the name is west. Then this gonna be number two, and the name is east. Then you just create the order, how you create it doesn't matter. You can also change this around, but you don't want to do that. So just double check that it makes sense, what automatically it sets up. Then this is the north, and this is number three, like that. The location of these doesn't matter. You can put it here if you want. It will move. Just make sure that these little connectors tie or lock to the end, to the right end, not here, but here. If you see them locking onto the other one, that can happen when it is placed in a different place. So now, okay, it works, but if I click like in the middle, let me delete them and try again. I still good, but sometimes it can be buggy and does it like that. In that way, you just change it like this. Okay. Now, you can see there is a control plan here, and there is a centroid configuration here. So what we need to do is you right click on it and click OD matrix. So right click on the centroid configuration. It was created when I placed these centroids automatically. So right click new OD matrix, double click on it. And here you have your little matrix, and you just basically need to put the traffic. And it shows from where to where. So from west, marked with red, to north, then to east, then to south. So let me just add name here because I forgot. So this is 4 and south. So I just add some traffic like 100 vehicle from each movement. You can also um, uh, just do that. You can copy paste data from spreadsheets if you want into here, but I don't have a spreadsheet now. So I just manually quickly add some traffic. And you also, when you have centroids or zones that is only like one way, so you only have like an attraction or generation to it, Aimsun wouldn't show it necessarily for each. It only shows where it can have traffic. So you need to make sure you select this all centroids if you copy paste from Excel, because in Excel you will have like a perfect matrix with equal arrivals and departures. And just need to make sure that you tick this, otherwise it would have like 3 here and 4 there, like 3 columns and 4 rows or vice versa. So now you okay. Um, but before we do that, I just forgot that here you make sure that you it is in vehicles, and vehicle type I just select cars. You can create matrices for other vehicle types as well. You can create a name for them, but in this case I just keep things simple. Then you can also, when you right click your project, you can create like scenarios. We are going to do a dynamic scenario. And within that, if you double click, so you see basically in this scenario, so it is not like Vism where you just click play and then it plays it, the simulation. You need to create like a scenario. And within that scenario, you need to set up what demand to use, what transit plan, path assignment, traffic signals you need to do. In this example, we only do demand and traffic signal. We don't go into further details with public transport and path assignments and so on. So as you see, we cannot select anything here, and we cannot select anything here because we need to create like a master control plan where we assign our control plan into. It can make sense to have a master control plan when you have multiple control plans, and you can just assign those. Like if you have multiple fixed one, like a long model, and then you want to have different control plans for each periods. That's why you can have like a master control plan for like A and peak, and then you have like 7 to 8, 8 to 9, and so on. And traffic demand also here it's empty. We need to create a traffic demand because we have only created metrics before previously. So uh, we need to go. I just click something I shouldn't have. So click traffic demand. On the demand data, you right click, new, and traffic demand. And it brings this up. When you double click on it, it shows just an empty area here. What you do is you click add demand item, and the matrices you created before are listed here. So like that. As you can see, it shows car. So if you want to have like trucks or medium vehicles, sized vehicles, or anything else, you just need to create more matrices for different vehicle types. So let's say you create another matrix called this is like a medium truck or something. And the vehicle type here you select truck, or just let's be truck. And in the size you can fill it out, maybe 30 here, 30 there, and that's it. And then when you go to the traffic demand here, you can now select that matrix too, and that will add trucks. And here you can move these matrices around how you want to load, but by default it's perfectly fine. It uses the time you set up in your matrix, and it will be fine. And again, you can just go to your main and initial time and duration. You can set one up these settings here, so you can for each hour, each 15 minutes, or whatever time period you want. You can just set those up here, and when you just tick your matrices here, Aimsun will automatically know how long they are or what is the duration, and they will just put one after each other, and they know the vehicle types and so on. So I'm going to just remove this truck. That was just an example I wanted to do. When we go to control, you right click the control and you go master control plan. Double click, and here you do the same what you did with matrices. So you just assign your control plan um, in this master control plan. So you just have it there. Again, if you have multiple control plans, for one for like, let me rename it. So this is like first hour, and the initial time, again here you can change it. Then here you have the same time. If you change that time, it will be put like after this here and so on, so on. So now you have these. When you double click your scenario, now you can select your traffic demand and your control. You can right click on it and create a new experiment. And we are going to do the microscopic and the stochastic. Stochastic might be familiar from Vissim, and microscopic means we just microscopically model this. And you need to create a new replication as well. Basically, a replication is similar what you have in Vissim, that like a multi-run. So in a multi-run, how many simulations you do, and in this replication, you can set the random seed. So this way you can run like multiple simulation runs basically, and then you can create averages from it. It automatically created this average. So if you create more replications, then it will, when you calculate this average, right click calculate, then it will calculate the average of it. So Vissim automatically creates these as you run more and more. So I think that is more straightforward there than here. But anyway, so let's have a look. So right click on the replication and you can run animated simulation. And here it brings this up here and also here. So it shows you dynamic scenario, the experiment and the replication. And it shows all these controls. So with this, you can control like how your resolution is and so on. So you can control like the speed and just move it around. You can record if you want, but let me just slow it down a bit. So you can see now that we have the traffic on every approach. We have the signals, and the signals change nicely. You can see that in these, the signal is split in half. That is to represent that you have two turns here and two signal groups shown here. You can again change the speed like super fast on the resolution there. It shows the time here. You can pause it, you can run it, and you can stop it by just clicking the X. It's also different in Mizim in a way that while the motor is running, you can actually make changes to it. So you can just increase these things. But as you see, it doesn't influence the current run, but it will save it. If you save it, and the next run will be used, this length will be taken into account. So I hope this helped you. Let me know if you want to see more of these, or if you have any questions, or I wasn't clear what I tried to explain. And just comment, let me know what you think. Thanks a lot for watching, and if you want to support me, please like and subscribe, or consider doing that. And you can also join on my Patreon page and you can pledge your support. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.